Welcome inside the State Champs studios on the campus of Lawrence Technological University. Welcome to State Champs Hockey Time. I'm Jonathan Kidd, along with Sean Belesian. Sean, how's it going today?
It's great. Another great week of hockey. Had a chance to go out to a few games. Had a chance to call a game last week. Same thing this week. Going out to a few games, calling a game. So looking forward to it.
As always, State Champs Hockey Time is presented by the Alta Equipment Company. Sean, let's recap what happened in high school hockey last week, and let's begin in the Lakes Valley Conference. Lakeland is off to a 7-0 start, and they beat the defending league champs in South Lyon Unified last weekend.
Yeah, you know what? I want to go see what's going on there. I mean, it's a fantastic start. You can't deny that. You know, I looked up some numbers. Cameron Slicker, Luke Weinberger, 21 points each to start the season. How about Weinberger? 18 goals. I mean, so that's a tremendous start. That's a good look for Lakeland early on, and I might have to make a drive out there and see if I can see it with my own two eyes.
All right, we'll stay in the Lakes Valley. We're going to talk to you about Matthew Valuers from Walled Lake Western. He's a 6'7", 315-pound offensive lineman. He plays on the hockey team. He scored his first goal over the weekend.
I love to see that. I mean, you know, that's one of the things I love to hear coaches say this, the MHSAA say it themselves. Get the guys playing multiple sports. There are a lot of multiple star athletes out there. You know, I got a chance to see Fugetti from Franklin, who's an accomplished football player, and he's going to Pitt, as a matter of fact, on a football scholarship. I had a chance to see him over the weekend patrolling the blue line. So good for you, young man. I hope that's the first of many, many goals this season.
And you want to mention about a player over at Walled Lake Central.
Yeah, definitely. Shane Beaufait, who comes from a hockey family, both his father, Brian, and his uncle, Mark, accomplished hockey players. Mark made it all the way to the National Hockey League. What a tremendous story. Folks, this is a kid 2 years ago. He broke his spine. Not only is he back on the ice, but he is absolutely lighting it up. How about 26 points in only 7 games, 12 goals, 14 assists. So way to go for you. It's awesome. Congratulations on that. It's a great story. Shane Beaufait doing a great job for that unified team.
All right, let's head over to the MIHL. And how about Cranbrook over the last week? 3 wins over Orchard Lake St. Mary's. They shut out Catholic Central 4-0, and they follow up the next day against Trenton 2-0.
Well, they had to skyrocket up the latest rankings as well. You know what's interesting, John, and we talked about it, I think it was the previous show, maybe in the first. I don't know, they all run together. But a lot of people said Cranbrook is loaded. Cranbrook is quote-unquote back. Not that they went anywhere, but you know, they're ready to make a good run. I've had a lot of people tell me, and I hope I get this name right, but Julian Zevegan is arguably the best goalie in the state. And you know what? So far, you take a look at his numbers, it's pretty hard to deny what he's been able to do. You know, a guy that's on our Warrior Player of the Year in Leighton Stenman on the blue line. I've had 2 different coaches, opposing coaches, mind you, tell me that they think he is the best player in the state. Lots of people raving about Cranbrook, and you can see why now.
On Friday night, we did our State Champs Game Time live broadcast of the Brother Rice versus Detroit Catholic Central hockey game. CC, coming off that loss to Cranbrook, rebounded 3-2.
Well, you knew that they would. I mean, look, it's Rice CC. I've said this once. I've said it 100 times. You know, when Rice CC get together, doesn't matter what the records are and everything. 2 really good teams. I'm impressed with Catholic Central in the regard. You know what? That is just a deep team. You know, I'm not sure there's a superstar in there, and I hope nobody takes that as disrespect. That is a deep, really good team with really good players. There are some high-end guys with Brother Rice. I think Rosa is a kid that, you know, a lot of people are talking him up. Now you got to see the Maroons. I was impressed with the senior Maroon on Friday night, 14. I thought he was all over the place. A senior goaltender for Rice as well. John, as far as I'm concerned, I still think CC is one of the teams to beat anywhere. The team to beat, certainly in Division I. Rice is in that group of teams in Division II right now. I do think there's a leader in Division II right now, but, you know, I made this joke the first week of the season. Put 4 names, and it might be 5 now, in a bowl, kind of swish them all around. Let's see what happens, and whoever you pull out first, that's the team to beat. Right now, I think it's Heartland. Brother Rice is that close. And don't forget, Brother Rice also beat Heartland. So it's going to be interesting. D2 is going to be crazy this year.
All right, well, and speaking about that, you were talking about that bowl there in Division 2.
Yeah.
What about in Division 3? You can probably need a whole punch.
It's a county.
Yeah, it's a county.
It's a county in Division 3. You kidding me? Well, this is the one thing that I'll say. I think right now, today, Calumet has kind of shown by virtue of their results, they're the best team in the UP right now. I think right now that they're up there with anybody, just behind maybe DCD in Division 3 as well. And the crazy thing about that is, we're going to talk about the Locust family again. Every year, a coach said this to me. He goes, seems like there's 2 Locusts on every team. You got a Locust up front that's doing great things on our Warrior Player of the Year, and you got a Locust in net right now in Atskill that's doing a fantastic job as well. Copper Kings, the best way to say it right now is I wouldn't want to play the Copper Kings right now, and I think they've shown that so far this season.
Last Wednesday night, State Champs covered the game between Flint Powers and Saginaw Heritage. Flint Powers won 5-0 over Saginaw Heritage. You might have to put them in that county bowl.
Yeah, they're in the county. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And again, you're talking about a guy in Coach Perry that's done a tremendous job there for years. How about this, John? Only 2 goals against so far for Flint Powers. Stingy, being led by Tyler Lawrence with 14 points. Monster week forthcoming for that team as well. You want an opportunity to crack that top 10. That opportunity is going to be there. I think off the top of my head, I think they've got Midland, then I think they've got DCD, then they've got Livonia Stevenson. That's a monster week for Coach Perry and his boys.
All right, on Friday night, it was the battle between Midland and Midland Dow. Midland won 4-2.
Yeah, you know what? It's interesting to me. I look at Midland, and I'm seeing a lot of balanced scoring right now. Matthew Witt is leading the way with 8 points, but they're getting contributions from everybody, and that's key. Good goaltending from Taylor White, and right now Midland's got some bragging rights.
All right, it was the Battle of Ann Arbor on Saturday afternoon between Skyline and Pioneer. Skyline won 5-3. They're off to an amazing start with Jamie Newton leading the way.
Yeah, that was a guy that was on our radar last year. He continues to get it done. He's got 12 points. AJ Schmunk as well with 12 points. I think that's a good Skyline team. There's a reason why they've been on our rankings the last couple of years, and currently right now, I think they flexed their muscle over the week and said, you know what, we might be the best out here, and they just might be.
All right, and we stay in Ann Arbor with Father Gaber Richard beating Liggett 4-3 over the weekend for the Catholic League title.
Well, I'm a big fan of Clint Robert. He did really good work when he was at Northville, and he's continuing to do good work for the Irish. How about this? 5 straight wins now. Jack Waldo is a guy that's lighting it up for them, so going to be interesting to keep an eye on them. As a matter of fact, John, we're taping this a little later on. I'm going to drive out there and get a chance to see them against St. Clair Shores Unified, who's off to a good start as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing 2 teams off to a good start.
In the KLAA on Saturday night, it was Heartland and Livonia Stevenson. Livonia Stevenson playing 2 games in one day, but Heartland came out with the victors 5-1.
It's interesting. Stevenson had Novi on Friday, Franklin in the morning, and the Heartland at night. And you know what? If I'm Heartland, I just go too bad. Heartland took care of business. That's what they should do. They have nothing to apologize for. I think that Heartland's the best right now in Division 2. A lot can change. But, again, when you're talking about Heartland, you know what? It just seems like every year Coach Gadwood just reloads. I mean, it's amazing. They're rolling on both ends of the ice. We talk about Patella. How about Andrew Larson? There's another great hockey family. Andrew Larson is absolutely lighting it up. Ryan Piros and net. When we're talking about great goaltenders, you have to include his name in the mix as well. I'll tell you what, again, right now, a lot can change. It might change by next week. I think Heartland is the best team in Division 2 this week.
It's interesting. We always talk about it's Brighton. It seems like in Division 2, it's Hart.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. It's I think the greatest compliment I can pay them, and I was texting with Coach Gadwood the other night, they were once, a group that was trying to knock on that door and get in the usual suspects. They are the usual suspects now. And I say it all the time, and I mean no disrespect to anybody else, but Trenton, Livonia Stevenson, Brother Rice, Heartland, They're always going to be there. You might get a team jump in for a year or two, another team jump in for a year or two. I think there's one team that's in the mix right now. I'm hearing great things about them. We'll get to them later. But, those are the 4 teams, and it just seems year in, year out, they're going to be there. They're going to make those long runs. They're going to end up at USA Hockey Arena, and I think it's a beautiful thing.
We head downriver, and we want to congratulate Brian Sullivan from Woodhaven High School. He got his 450th win last week.
Congratulations, Coach. There's no doubt about that. That is a great hockey community. I love their logo as well. Am I allowed to say? I just think that's such a cool logo. Continued success to you, and here's to another 450.
In our Alta Equipment Company main event, we went to the west side of the state. Byron Center taking on Grand Rapids Catholic Central. Byron Center had a 4-1 lead. Grand Rapids Catholic Central came back to tie it up at 4, but the Nicholas brothers came through at the end, and they won 5-4.
Well, and you know how I was just saying that I think there's another team that is knocking on the door, not just knocking in the door, but kicking in the door in Division II? It's Byron Center. It really is, and I've had a lot. Now, in fairness, with this year being what it is, I haven't had a chance to see them, but a lot of people that I know and trust are saying they're very legitimate, and when you take a look at what they've done so far, yeah, they look very legitimate. The Nicholas, Logan, and Luke getting it done. Trevor Davis up front as well. They have a punch to them. This is a team that's going to want to attack you. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that translates when the moment presents itself. And listen, there are still landmines for them. I haven't seen the regionals yet, but NE's going to have something to say about that. Forest Hills NE. Are they going to be in with Marquette? Are they going to be in with Traverse City Central? Let's not forget about those 2 teams and teams to keep an eye on. But boy, oh boy, I've heard nothing but good things about Byron Center, and they continue to win games.
All right, it's time now for our Coaches Corner, brought to you by our friends at the Michigan High School Hockey Coaches Association. I'm joined today by the head coach at Byron Center High School, Taylor Keyworth. Thanks for being on the show, and just talk about your guys' season so far this year.
Yeah, we're off to a pretty successful start. It's always good to get some wins early in the year, and I still think we got a lot of room for improvement, and hopefully we're building towards the end of February, into March here, where we can hopefully really hit our stride and make a push for the postseason.
How's it feel for you guys just to be back on the ice after this long break?
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. Like, for our program to be on our way to our first Final Four ever last year, and then for have that be cut short and then get rolling again. And I think we kind of knew that we were going to have a strong team, only graduating 2 guys last year. And then for that to get, paused again, it was very, very frustrating for our program and for our kids and our players and families, and our staff, I guess, too. So it's just awesome to have the kids back out there. You can tell they're loving it. They know what's at stake, and they're excited to show up to the rink every single day. And playing 3-4 games a week is a lot, but they're happy to be out there and pumped to be competing again together.
You guys obviously play on the west side of the state. You guys play in the Ottawa-Kent Conference. Just talk about the level of competition you guys play each and every night.
Yeah, it's strong, I think. I think we have, the 3 conferences, the 3 OK conferences, and, all the teams are strong, and you never really get a night off. I know it's like that on the east side with a lot of conferences too, where the Heartlands and the Trentons and the Brother Rices of the world play. And, we're just trying to continue to build on the west side, and it's very consistent night in and night out. There's never a game that anyone's out of, and there's never a game that you show up to and say, this is a walk in the park. It's great for the kids. It's great for the competition on the west side, and it really rises everyone's gameplay, whether we're playing Grand Rapids Catholic Central, Rockford, Granville, Mona Shores. It doesn't really matter, because everyone usually shows up with, a great team, a great game plan, and we've had some awesome games so far this year.
Hey, let's be ready to go right off the hop, yeah? Ready to go right off the hop.
A couple weeks ago, Zach Herrig over at Fox 17 mic'd you during a game. Just talk about that experience, like with being mic'd up for a high school game.
Yeah, honestly, you don't really think about it. He's there and he gives you the mic and you hook it up, and once the puck drops, you just, we try to operate the same way we always do and make sure that we're prepared as a staff and that we're encouraging our guys, and we're there to support them and insulate them as much as we can and get them going and give them as many tools and resources as we can to get the best product on the ice. And, being mic'd up, it's fun. You get to kind of look back, and I watched the video one time and, man, I sound like an idiot here, and sometimes I probably sound better than I should. So thanks to Zach for maybe making me look a little better than I probably was.
I always ask each coach this: how much do you enjoy going on the ice each and every week to coach these boys?
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. And that's probably my favorite part of this whole program and everything we're doing here on the west side and in Byron Center is we got just great kids, great people. Our team, this is our fifth year as a program, right? All the first 4 years, every single year, our team's been academic all-state, and these kids bust their butts in the classroom, and then they get to come and work and really create an awesome environment together. And we've had such good people and such good kids that have, with a program in such infancy, it's been so great to see these people really be all in and get us off to the start that we've been able to get off to. And it's been, being on the ice with the kids every single day is just, it's the blessing at the end of the day that makes us come back as a staff and everyone else come every single day with our, game plan and get to enjoy it and spend time with these kids and hopefully positively impact them and also get to play some hockey games.
All right, Taylor, so best of luck to you guys the rest of the season. And that was our Coach's Corner, brought to you by our friends at the Michigan High School Hockey Coaches Association.
If you're a high school athlete with the dream of playing college sports, Lawrence Technological University wants you to recruit yourself. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports, including its newest additions, competitive cheer and dance, esports, women's hockey, and men's and women's track and field. Visit LTUathletics.com and recruit yourself. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.
All right, it's time now for our Warrior Hockey Player of the Year update. Look at what Warrior dropped off to us here on the studio here.
Outstanding. Thank you, Warrior. I mean, this is awesome. Great gear. Look at those gloves. Aren't those beauties? Everything's so amazing now, John. Everything's so much lighter. I mean, just hold the sticks from, back in the day and everything. And Warrior on the leading edge. So we appreciate you very much, Warrior.
And what do you think about the QRE10 stick there?
Isn't that beautiful? They're like feathers, man. Yeah, like before, when I was a kid, you were holding like a tree, right? They're like feathers, just beauty. So thank you, Warrior.
All right, so over the weekend, we released our top 10 for the Warrior Hockey Player of the Year update. Today, we're going to be talking about two of those candidates. First off, let's talk about Lucas Kroll from Detroit Country Day.
Well, I think first and foremost, to me, Frank deserves such a tremendous amount of credit for what he's done at Detroit Country Day. Of course, I'm talking about Coach Novak. And one of the things that he's done is you watch players get better on his watch. And Kroll is certainly one of those. I think one of the things that jumps out to you is what an opposing coach told me about him. He is a threat anywhere on the ice. Now, that's a special kind of talent. Make no mistake about that. And to go back to the beginning, he's getting better as well. So when you ask around, and, we explain the criteria all the time, John, to people, when you ask coaches, okay, who absolutely has to be on this list, he was unanimous. I'm not going to tell you all the unanimous guys, but he was unanimous, and that really speaks to me.
Next up, we're going to be talking about Billy Shields from the Detroit Catholic Central.
Well, the first thing that jumps out to you, and I think you and I had an up-close and personal look at this, the kid can move. I mean, he really can move. I always like to defer to coaches. I think that's the important thing when you do something like this. Ask the guys that get a chance to see them more often than not. And I love what Coach Kalinicki said about him, because you then watch it when you watch him play and you watch the Shamrocks play. His compete level. This is a guy that doesn't give up. The tenaciousness that he goes after it is awesome. So, with so many guys at Catholic Central in recent years, because of the schedule that they play, what they do might not show up on the score sheet. They might not have bombastic numbers, but what you're seeing complete players. And based on, who they're playing against, those numbers might not be as high as guys otherwhere. But I'll tell you what, when you're talking about complete players, you better include this kid's name on the list.
Remember, you can cast your vote at statechampsnetwork.com. The leading vote getter will never be removed from the list.
Support your guy. And, honestly, John, I've had a couple different coaches tell me, I like this guy or that guy. You guys can vote too, okay? So make sure you get out there and vote.
All right, so that was our Warrior Hockey Player of the Year update. All right, let's preview this week in high school hockey in the great state of Michigan. On Wednesday night, Detroit Catholic Central taking on Brighton.
What a doozy. Unbelievable. And, again, you have to tip your cap to Kurt Kavisto and Brighton. They just continue to play arguably the toughest schedule in the state. Year in, year out. It is amazing. And it serves them well. They're always ready to do battle. Would anybody be surprised if Brighton made another run this year? Well, if you'd be surprised, you aren't paying attention. I mean, there's no other way to say that. And Catholic Central, hey, look, what better way to measure yourself than to go up against Catholic Central, who, no disrespect to anybody else, I still think they're the team to beat in D1.
All right, on Thursday night, in the SEC Conference, we have Ann Arbor Skyline taking on Chelsea.
Great story out in Chelsea. That's another team that, put together a nice little winning streak. Good measuring stick for both of these teams. Two teams that, punch their way into the top 25. Maybe one of them has a chance to move up and push the other one out with a game like this.
On Thursday night, we're going to have another State Champs Game Time live broadcast. It's going to be Livonia Stevenson at Trenton. One of the premier rivalries in Division II over the last decade.
Yeah, it's been awesome, and a lot of respect there, I think, on both sides. Chad Clements, I've said it before, one of my favorite people. He's just such a class act, and Coach Turner was the same way, so the apple didn't fall too far from the tree. And, David Mitchell's done such a great job at Livonia Stevenson. Hey, on a Thursday night, an 8 o'clock start, especially in a beautiful arena like that. Now, John, I hope we get up in the perch. Can we go up in the perch?
Yes, we are going up.
That's what I'm talking about. Call it like a real National Hockey League game. But no, all jokes aside, it is it's a tremendous rivalry. And, one that we've seen in recent years. Stevenson's kind of had their way with Trenton in the regular season. Trenton's beat them when it counts in the playoff. Another chapter of what has turned into a really, really fun and respectful rivalry between two D2 giants.
All right, so State Champs Game Time Live. Livonia Stevenson taking on Trenton. The game starts at 8 o'clock. It will be broadcast on our State Champs YouTube page and on our Facebook page, and maybe a little bit of Twitter as well.
Yeah, and I always have fun. Last week, John, we got accused of, being pro Brother Rice. I'm sure we'll get accused of being pro Trenton this week. So yeah, we'll have some fun with it.
And Mike's going to be along with you.
Mike is going to be Mike.
I call him Barbecue Mike.
Yeah, Barbecue Mike is going to be along. He's a guy that played at CC and Livonia Churchill growing up and everything. We had a heck of a lot of fun the first week, and thankfully they asked us both back. I don't know what's wrong with them to ask us both back, but we're happy to be back.
Reminder again: State Champs Game Time Live on Thursday. Livonia Stevenson at Trenton. All right, continuing now on Friday night, we're going to be talking about Brighton again because they're going to be taking on their rivals from Heartland.
That's awesome. The thing out there that's so cool is, the Howell kids, the Heartland kids, the Brighton kids, they all know each other. There's something special when you have a dynamic like that going on.
All right, on Friday night, Division III matchup between Flint Powers and Detroit Country Day. A preview of a playoff matchup down the road.
Oh, baby, is that fun. Powers, as I said, in my humble opinion, I had them at 11. You could make the argument they're a top 10 team. You want to move up? Take care of business this week. Nothing better than knocking off what I feel is the best team in the state right now in Country Day.
We head up north for the big matchup between Calumet and Hancock. We talked a lot about the Locusts earlier in the show. Dean Locust has 29 points so far this season as of Monday.
Yeah, again, Axel in net. Hancock is vastly improved. New coach coming in. Obviously, I think people can see what they've done. We've ranked them accordingly. Just a fantastic battle up there. This. I've said this for years. Like, one of my dreams is to go up there for a weekend where I can see like Houghton Calumet one night, Houghton Hancock the next night. It's awesome up there. You always know you're going to get one heck of a game, and this should be no different.
We talked about Byron Center a lot in this show this week, including our Coach's Corner with Taylor Keyworth. They're going to be heading up north to take on the Bay Reps.
It's a great matchup. Bay Reps are another team. Pay attention to what they've done. A couple of years ago, they made a nice run to get to USA Hockey Arena. They're loaded this year. They got some good wins already. Good measuring stick for both teams.
We go to the action on Saturday. Got to be talking about Heartland again because they have another big matchup against Saginaw Heritage.
Saginaw Heritage is an interesting story because, they gave Rice all they could handle coming down. And, J.J. Bamberger, I have all the respect in the world for him. He's a guy, if he has an opportunity to go play a game, he's going to do it. They scheduled that game. They like J.J. told me during the week last week, he goes, I was looking for teams that had an open day, found Brother Rice, asked him. Kenny said, sure, let's go. Coach Chapman over at Rice. Ended up being a great game. Rice winning 3-2 in overtime. But I think Coach Bamberger knows that, to get themselves ready for what they hope is yet another long run in D1, it helps to play some of the big boys. And Heartland, as I said, right now, my humble opinion, I think the biggest boy in D2.
Catholic League battle between two Division III teams between Warren De La Salle and UAD Jesuit.
Well, Sean Clark's doing a fantastic job. It's Coach Clark, you might remember, was at De La Salle. He came back doing a tremendous job. Pilots ranked and for good reason. I had a really tough time this week trying to figure out who number one was, John. Full disclosure, and I'll tell the Cubby fans this. It was the Cubbies. It was Country Day. The only reason I went with Country Day, quite frankly, is because, they had the clean sheet. There's no harm in picking up the tie that UAD did, but UAD right there. I mean, Division III right now really is so compacted, and I'm going to use the county analogy again. There are a bunch of teams in the county that can do some work.
All right, we have a KLAA MIHL matchup between Howell and Cranbrook. Howell, they started off 0-3, but they have won 3 in a row as of Monday.
Yeah, heck of a coach. It starts with Rocky. There's no doubt about that. I had a chance to kind of see them one time and get on that road to respectability. You've seen Rocky do this over the last couple of years. Don't be surprised. Howell's going to be a really good team in short order.
All right, so that's it for another edition of State Champs Hockey Time. Sean, man, it's just so great to be back.
Oh, it's tremendous. I mean, you know what, John, we could sit here for the next hour and a half talking about it, but, I love it. The kids right now, some of the schedules that they are playing are absolutely brutal. But you know what? You're still seeing the smiles on faces, and it allows guys like you and I to go out to games every night if we so choose, and that's beautiful.
Remember, you can watch our show on our website, statechampsnetwork.com, and all of our State Champs social media channels. And remember, you can vote in the Warrior Hockey Player of the Year contest. I'm Jonathan Kidd, along with Sean Belegian, and that's it for another edition of State Champs Hockey Time. So, Sean, what do we say?
We'll see you at the rink.
State Champs Hockey Time is presented by Lawrence Technological University. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports. Visit LTUathletics.com and recruit yourself. Also presented by Alta Equipment Company, Michigan's #1 construction equipment provider with over 40 brands. Get the right equipment for your project every time. Also brought to you by the Michigan High School Hockey Coaches Association. For all things Michigan High School hockey, go to the hub, MIHSHockeyHub.com. The Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Detroit Medical Center Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Do you have a sports injury, or are you just looking to take your game to the next level? Go where the pros go. Visit dmc.org/gamechangers. The Detroit Athletic Club Foundation, Warrior Hockey, and the new Covert QRE 10 stick. Elite puck feel and quick release for players of all ages. The Warrior Covert QRE 10 stick. There's no feeling like it.